What's going on, guys? Scott the Bodybuilding Fitness here, back with another training video for you guys. So this is footage of an upper workout of the first week I was back training from my holidays. So the other day you seen a leg session, and this is going to be a upper session or a bench press session in powerlifting terms. So what the first week called for, we had 2 leg sessions or 2 deadlift and squat sessions, and 3 bench sessions or 3 upper sessions, whichever way you want to call them. And this is the second one of the week. The first one I just decided just to come in and hit it, and I'd record the second one for you guys. So this is the second bench press session of the week, which called for basically a 10-10-8-6. So we had a set weight for 10 reps, then we upped it for 10 reps, and then we upped it again for 8 reps, and then we done 6 reps. So the first set was 52.5 kilo for 10 reps paused. Then we went, as you can see here, 70 kilo for 10 reps paused. Then I believe we went 80 kilo for 8 reps paused, and then we done 82.5 kilo for 6 reps paused. And this is the exact same rep scheme and weight scheme that we had the first session. So the way the first week worked was the first bench press session we had 10-10-8-6, and then the second session we had 10-10-8-6, which is this session, and then the third session, which I didn't record for you all, we had a max rep, so as many reps as we could. So what you're seeing here right now is just the third set. So this is the 8 reps paused, and I am changing everything to paused as I want to focus more getting better on the competition pause, as you have to pause in competition, as I've said before. And considering last time I was dieting, when I was dieting, I just switched back to tap and go, just for my mind to think that I was hitting heavier weights, because it is harder pausing reps on the bench press. So this is the last set of the bench, and this is all we had to do for the powerlifting portion of the program on this day. So as I said, 10-10-8-6, and each time we went up reps. So now we have the powerlifting section out of the way for the workout. We're moving on to the bodybuilding session. So as I've said in previous video, or I don't know if I have, since I have 3 upper workouts, the way I done it was on the upper workouts I done 2 exercises for each body part, because last time I was doing 2 sessions for each body part, and I was doing 3 exercises, add up to 6. So if I split it up to 3 sessions, and I do 2 exercises for each body part in each session, that still means I'm overall totaling a volume of 6 exercises per body part. So what you're seeing here is the first shoulder exercise. So I'm counting the bench press as a chest exercise. So we went it's normally chest, shoulders, back, chest, shoulders, back, then 2 bicep, 2 tricep, and abs on certain days. So this is still week 1, so this is a heavy week. So this was 5 sets of 5 to 6 reps, and I believe this dumbbell is I want to say 22.5 kilo, but I think it may be a 25 kilo. I can't really see from here, but I'm doing so just standing 1-arm dumbbell press. On the other day I done OHP, and each day I changed the shoulder exercise, and I really like and I'm really enjoying this, because I have said before in videos, I think that doing this seated just dumbbell press, I get this weird feeling in my left hand side in my lat. My lat kind of takes control because I'm kind of tight over there, and overall it's just not a good time and I don't really like it. So from there we're moving on to the first back exercise, and for this day I called for just some dumbbell rows, and I haven't done dumbbell rows in, I can't remember how long. I used to stand behind the bench, put the bench on an incline and hold it and do rows, and I stopped doing them after a while because the dumbbells in my gym were too light. And even though I'm using quite a light dumbbell here, one of the reasons I'm not using super heavy weight in all these exercises is this was my first week back training, and I couldn't really gauge, especially exercises like this where I hadn't done them in a while. So I believe this is just a 27.5 kilo dumbbell. I just done once again for 5 sets of 5 to 6 reps. And I actually really enjoyed this exercise, considering I hadn't done it in a while. I think that's always a good thing as to always switch up your exercises, and then eventually when you come back to an exercise you'll really enjoy it again, because I think it can get very tedious and just very boring doing the same exercises over and over again. Then again, people could say, then what about deadlift, bench and squat? You could get bored of them all the time, but in my opinion, who the hell gets bored of those 3 exercises? They're a king of all exercises, and I don't think I'd ever get bored of them. But doing stuff like dumbbell rows or side lateral raises a certain way, I would get very bored doing them if I constantly done them the same way. So from there, we're moving on to another chest exercises, and we just done some weighted dips, and I believe I have a 10 kilo plate. I think it's a 10 kilo plate between my legs there. What actually happened was I forgot to bring my dips belt, so I had to use this sort of rubber band, this red rubber band there that I don't have anymore because I left it in the gym the other day, and I'm pretty sure someone took it, but that's my own fault for leaving it in the gym overnight or for 2 or 3 days without claiming it, because I forgot it. But I haven't done dips in a good couple of months. Here on to the left there, just trying to pull a tricep pose there. I hadn't done dips in a couple of months either, and it actually kind of aggravated my right hand shoulder, and it wasn't very good for my next bench session. So I don't know if I'll keep them in, or maybe I'll just go lighter on the weight and try and control them anymore. So from there, we're moving on to the second back exercise, I believe. So on this day it calls for weighted pull-ups, and once again, as I said, I don't have my dips belt, so I just had to throw the band there and try and hold the plate. I believe this is only a 5 kilo or something like that. I'm able to do more, and if anyone's ever seen any of my other videos, you know I normally don't do pull-ups here. I do them in another space. I don't really like the bar here for pulling up. It's very thin, and it's like a hard plastic grip, and it's just overall nasty, and I just hate it. It feels quite horrible. So from there, we're moving on to the second shoulder exercise, and today called for, these are just standing side lateral raises, but my elbows are quite bent. If you see here, my arms are kind of in a right angle the whole time, and I'm coming down doing a little sort of a sway, because as I said, this is heavy week. On the 3rd week we do get to a real controlled week, so this week is more about shifting and lifting the weight rather than trying to feel the muscle. This is more just a progressive overload of weight, and trying to get the muscles to just handle heavier weight. So from there, we're moving on to the first bicep exercise, and this is actually a superset. So today called for just some standing easy bar curls, but then we're supersetting it with some standing easy bar reverse curls. So as you can see there, we just done the first set, and then we just done the reverse curl. So I just picked a weight that I knew I'd get 5 to 6 reps for 5 sets on each, so I just put a 10 either side. It was a lot harder on the reverse grips, especially because I'd done them second, and just because reverse grip is naturally harder. But yeah, knocking them out supersets. So we done an inner head and an outer head of the bicep, knocking them out really like that. As I don't think I have mentioned, but each day I am doing like with shoulders, I'm doing a front delt, a side delt. Here I'm doing an inner and an outer bicep. My tricep, I'll do a short head, a long head, and each day we'll do it like that. So each day we'll overall we'll hit, say, 3 inner heads and 3 outer heads, or 3 long heads and 3 short heads, stuff like that. So we're getting everything worked in equal amount, and there won't have any imbalances at all. So from there, we're moving on to the first tricep exercise, and this is just some close grip bench. And I've decided on this program, instead of doing some flat bench, I'll do some incline close grip bench press. And I've never actually really done this before. I've done it a few times, sort of messing. I know I just contradicted myself there saying I never done it before, but I've never done it in a program sort of thing. I've only ever jumped on it messing and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep this in for the 6 weeks, and we'll see how I get it on. I like the can't really tuck your elbows as much as you normally would on a flat press bench press, but overall it felt really good, and I really did like it. So I believe we just done 65 kilos this year, 65 kilo for just a couple of sets. My first set I did put too heavy because I hadn't done this ever. I put too heavy and I banged out 2 reps, and I was like, wait, this is way too heavy, I have to drop it down. So we just dropped it all the way down from 80 kilo, I believe I tried to do, and it just wasn't happening. So I just dropped it back down to 65 kilo. But that's another thing, as I said, I was talking about before, your first week back in a program, especially if you're doing exercises you haven't done before, it's quite hard to judge where your strength is going to be at. So from there, we're moving on to the last tricep exercise, and this is just some standing easy bar overhead extension French press. and that's a very long name. But yeah, so this just concludes the commentary for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye for now, guys.